You're listening to the Keep It Real podcast with Zach Phelan, where we talk everything real estate, real business, and real life. My name is Zach Phelan, and I'm a real estate investor, realtor, entrepreneur, and family man. This podcast is brought to you by Home Scout. Home Scout shows you every home listed on the market in real time, meaning if a home you're looking at goes under contract with another buyer, you will see it in real time. You can track homes that have sold, save favorite homes, get notified when a home hits the market in a neighborhood you're watching, and so much more. The best thing about Home Scout is your information is 100% secure. The only people who can see your phone number and email is yours truly, Zach Phelan, and my lender, Jenna Groff. Most people don't know this, but other apps and platforms sell your information to at least 3 realtors and 7 lenders. That's 10 phone calls and multiple emails from 10 different people. Keep your information safe in our hands. We promise not to abuse it. Download the Home Scout app now. The link is below in the show notes, or email me and I will send you a direct link. If prompted for a VIP code, use my phone number 928-853-0683. Go download the Home Scout app now and start searching for that new home today.
Oh, Facebook, we are live. We're here with the Ortiz family. We're going to do a little interview with Marcus here and his new company that he just started. And we want to sign on with all the kids, say hi, smile, and they're all going to go play at the park. Jeez. We're recording on all devices, Sammy?
Recording everywhere.
Oh, Mama Sammy's going to send us on out of here. All right, guys. Going to go live. Marcus Ortiz, good family buddy of mine. And excited for this one because I'm a big fan of side hustles. Love that stuff. And we're going to go ahead and get into this one. But so we're representing. We're wearing the clothing right here.
The Sherpas. Sherpa up.
The Meat Sherpa. So first of all, I didn't even know what a Sherpa is. So what is a Sherpa?
So a Sherpa, they're a Nepalese people that live right up there in the Alps. And they carry heavy packs. They pack up for the Mount Everest climbs base camps. So they put everything on their shoulders and they go up with these handmade baskets. And there's usually one strap around their forehead. And they're very little people, but they are strong. And that's what they do for a living.
Dude, that's crazy. Cause I just Googled it. And I was like, what is this thing? And they like have it strapped around their forehead, right? And they're just hiking up the hill. And it's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. Like the amount of packs that you can put on those cats and they just get up there and go. If you haven't done it already, I would say Google it and then put the eyes on what these people actually carry up at 10,000 to 15,000 feet elevation.
It's nuts. Yeah. I saw that and I was like, oh my, like the pack is hanging out this big above them, strapped to their forehead. And then that's part of the design you got going on there, which is freaking sweet. So go check out, Google that, Google what a Sherpa is, and then go to what's the website?
It's www.meatsherpas.com.
So what are we selling on there?
So we're kicking off with some hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and then slowly eventually getting into trying to meet with some different companies to come out with a hunting pack.
Nice.
Because if you look at the market right now, there's the low-end stuff that's not really quality. It's like a JanSport backpack. And then there's the high-end stuff that's like minimum $200. And I feel like there's a market out there that is being overlooked, like the blue collar kind of people that are like, I want to hunt, but I don't want to break the bank.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the market that I'm trying to get into and create a Meat Sherpa line. So with the hats and the shirts and stuff, get my name out there and then meet up with some different companies and then see if we can't work something out. And then also with some camo as well. So there's some stuff in the works and looking forward to having some good meetings with some different companies. So,
yeah, dude, that's going to be freaking awesome. So, I mean, I get Meat Sherpas and then the starting off with the clothing line. So is that, you walked right into it. So what is going to be kind of the goal with this whole deal? Like, where are we going with it? What are you going to make and sell and, et cetera?
Starting out with just the clothing line, like I said, and then once we get some packs and some camo on board, we'll start to look into little water bottles and like you can get your thermoses engraved for little gifts here and there. And then overall, the in-state, northern Arizona, up here in Flagstaff where we're at, we don't have a indoor 3D shooting facility in the wintertime. We're at 7,000 feet, We just got done with.
We just got 31 inches of snow.
So, stuck inside. I'd like to open up my own little Meat Sherpas apparel in there, slinging clothes and stuff, and then allowing people to come out and shoot and do the 3D stuff, and then have our outdoor 3D leagues as well, and then kind of do that stuff. There's a lot of open opportunity there that I'm trying to fill that market, because I was one of those people this year stuck shooting out in the cold with my brother, and it's fun for a little bit until your fingers. It's like, I can't feel my hands anymore. Time to go
I
inside.
can't feel my hands. And then you don't want to go, then it's like 2 days later, you're like, do I want to go do that again?
Oh,
I want to
glorious.
shoot, but I can shoot every single day.
Yeah, that's the thing that we're trying to do, is fill that little niche and hole up here in northern Arizona, but trying to find some places to put that in. It's been pretty difficult, but we're just kind of.
We were looking. We're looking at retail space already, and I'm trying to figure out, how are we going to make this somewhat affordable? And talking with some other people, they're like, we got to sell Meat Sherpa stuff. We got to, you got to have a full, do you team up with Bull Basin or somewhere else, or just have a whole bow shop in there where you're tuning bows, selling arrows, selling everything, and then they have the 3D as well. So I was looking at places like Belmont still, and trying to find something that's not being used.
Oh yeah,
and make a deal out of it,
because it's difficult here in the city of Flagstaff, man. It's pretty pricey. Like, it's a good mountain town, but the real estate market is getting up there, and like, you're in the game there.
Oh yeah, what that guy want? $12,000 a month?
$12,000 a month for 18,000 square feet raw,
not just a building, right?
Yeah,
just
metal building, slab.
Yeah, $12,000 a month. So, I'm like,
you
got to do everything to it still. That's crazy.
It's been a good little battle, but no, we're just going to keep the dung beetle effect and keep pushing uphill.
Yeah, just keep going. I freaking love it. So you told me about this not that long ago. So take me from idea of Meat Sherpas. How do you come up with Meat Sherpas? And then to now you already have products.
Oh, man. So how I came up with the Meat Sherpa. So I did fire for quite a few years. And when I was in Oregon, in Central Oregon, we were packing around always these heavy rucksacks up and down these nasty country hills. And every time I put that dang backpack on, I felt like a Sherpa. And I was like, all right, Central Oregon Sherpas, mount up. So we would just be silly goofing around like that, keeping morale up. And then I was like, man, I hunt a lot. And it's like, why not? So we pack stuff out. And like, why not throw the Meat Sherpa combined and then come up with a little design and the little pack that they have on their back. I was like, man, I think that would sound good. And I ran it by my wife, and I ran it by my brother, and he was like, that's a pretty decent idea. So I was like, all right, let's go for it. And I kicked the idea around for many a years, but I just
been a while. Yeah.
Never pulled the trigger on it. And then finally we got up here, we got to the place where like financially we're comfortable. So I was like, I set my budget, and I was like, okay, here's what we're going to do. Go for it. And if it takes off, great. But if it doesn't, slow snail pace for a little while, then that's all right. Yeah. Not too much money invested into it. Yeah. Just the hard part, I feel like, is getting out there. Like, there's so many people on the YouTube and doing everything like that, and like hats and shirts and hunting videos and all that stuff. I didn't want to fall into the hunting video side of things. I did come up with the idea of coming out with a YouTube channel about your toughest pack out and sitting down and like having people.
Oh, I got one.
Like, okay, what's your toughest pack out? Like, it doesn't even have to be like towards hunting. Like, if you're out hiking around and you find yourself like, oh man, I am out of food, out of water. I just went a little too far. What's over that next ridge got in your head? And that happens. You're like, oh man, what did I do? But that's the adventures that we want to get into with the whole Meat Sherpas thing. And it's like, okay, now what? Yeah. So it's just been, it's so fun. And kicking it off has been great. Like, we've been getting a lot of support from kind of all over the country. It's weird. Like, some friends.
When people hear this, dude, it's going to go.
In Oregon.
It's going to be word of mouth for a little while.
Like local Arizona, and then like Florida, South Carolina. And I'm like, what? So I'm like, this is great. Like, it's good. And I'm loving it. So I'm just like pressing the flesh and getting the word out there. So
yeah. I mean, you called me maybe a month ago.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, I'm going to do this Meat Sherpa thing. I want to sell some t-shirts. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do this. And I'm in the same boat right behind you with getting t-shirts for the podcast and all that. But I'm like, dude, sweet, let's go for it. And I mean, you went from telling me, you already had the idea, but telling me the idea to getting a website, getting the graphic designs done, getting it up onto the website, and selling stuff online in like weeks, it felt like.
Yeah, from start to finish, it took 2.5 weeks to get the website set up.
Mm-hmm.
And then the longest thing that took was getting the trademark on the Meat Sherpas. You got to go through a process, and it's unreal. Like, you got to spend $500 to get that, and it takes 3 months to get done.
3 months?
Yeah, it's unreal. And you got to do multiple various like emails, responses back and forth.
Yeah.
And then once you get all that done, set and secure, you're good. But you can still print off your product and get it out there. Went through those e-commerce websites, the GoDaddy one, and it's just so self-explanatory.
Yeah.
And it's so quick to upload everything. And then got some prototype shirts and hats and stuff, and locally threw it in here in town, and finally found like the right t-shirt that I've got a couple responses back. There's a couple of people that said that's probably the most comfortable shirt I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
And they ordered more right then and there.
Nice.
So I was like, this is great. I mean, finding that right product that's going to be good for what people do outside in the woods is what I was looking for. So everybody knows cotton kills when you're out hiking around.
Yeah, cotton's terrible. Don't wear cotton and go hiking.
It doesn't wick moisture and then keeps the scent down. It's like, oh man, let's go with something that's new age, breathable, lightweight, and it'll control your scent. So I was like, all right, let's go do it. And it's not just for strictly for hunting, it's for outdoor occasions like hiking, fishing, camping, even messing around outside, like doing whatever you want.
Flagstaff, this is what we do. We want to get outside. Yeah.
It's a mountain town. So that's what I finally went through, and then I finally found the correct shirt that I like, and it is super comfortable.
I'm glad you did all this legwork for me up front, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm going to buy the same shirts and slap my stuff on it.
It's unreal of how much, like just doing the little bit of research and finding wholesalers at cost, it's like for that budget helped out tenfold. And it was unreal. I was like, oh man, I can do so much more with this money set aside than going to like the local store and paying like 50% over, 150% over what we actually want the product for. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And it opened my eyes to like the retail side of things of how much markup the dang stores actually do. And I'm like, this is a highway robbery. I was like, this is terrible. So outsourcing and doing research and finding other people online that have their own little niches. Like we've got some leather handmade patches coming in from Ukraine. This girl cranked them out, and she did 130 in like less than 2 weeks. And it's this gal in Ukraine that has a little bit of unlimited supply of Italian leather. So I was like, yeah, sure, send me a sample. And it's amazing. Nice. So it was like those come in either at the end of this week or next week. So
sweet.
Super excited to get those up and slapped on the hats, and then just kind of going from there. Like,
dude, man, that is awesome. I love it. I love people who get going on this type of stuff, do a little side hustle. And it's huge. I've been telling my brothers, like, can you guys start some form of side hustle? I mean, I've done a few of them, and, getting a second form of income rolling in. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah, that's the number one thing. Like seeing those little girls right there, and my wife. That's basically like the main scheme is like work and then have other stuff coming in, always bringing in some revenue. So I make their lives comfortable and easier, and from what we come up with. So it's like, all right, let's keep this going
for sure. And it's just like, and then you're teaching them at the same time too. Like, dad and mom are doing a couple different things, and as they get older, I mean, Sebastian wanted, he sees me do my stuff, and he's like, Dad, I want more Beyblades. And I was like, hey, you got to earn them. So he's been doing all different things around the house. And now and he's like, okay, how do I get money, Dad? And I'm like, you're 4. Let's do a hot chocolate stand. But he did his hot chocolate stand, loved it. He's like, how much do we got? And he's trying to count the money with me. He knows how to count and stuff, but he doesn't know how to put 20s together yet. And then he's like, all right, how much do we got? I got $86. All right, let's go, buy some Beyblades.
See, that's good. You got to instill that into them earlier. And that's what I'm trying to do with the girls, man, is get the Meat Sherpa stuff kicked off. And like today before we came over, I was doing some work on the truck, and I looked up, and there's my oldest, Brindley. She had my bugle tube, and she's just ripping off bugles in the garage. And I look over, and there's Marley, and she's got 2 deer horns. And she goes, big buck. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this.
They get it quick.
Yeah, when we were driving over, they were like, Dad, where's your mountain goat? And they have the sheep and the bear and the moose and everything hidden in the emblem here, and they love it, man. It's just so fun.
Yeah. And I see the moose now.
Yeah, we got a moose, a bear, and then the deer and elk up in there, and then underneath that, the hikers actually standing on the San Francisco peaks for Flagstaff.
Nice.
They couldn't get too attention to detail, so I was like, well, just throw something in there. It'd be a good conversation starter.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
I mean, I like that. And he came out that pretty quick. I mean, that was a good.
They did an amazing job, super fast. Like, I'm a terrible artist. I'll be the first to say that.
Like, the pictures you drew to me and said, I was like, oh yeah, come to the house. Sammy will draw some stuff and she'll get you going on the website.
Yeah, her response was, "Is this a penis?" Yeah. I was like, I believe that's an L cuff, but yeah, I'll be over there.
Yeah, I'm coming over.
Yeah, that guy, he took my idea and then made it come to life even better than what I had like anticipated to come out, and it was just so fast. The turnaround time was amazing, and the cost was like so cheap.
It was very affordable.
So I was like,
we had him do ours, and then Sammy redid what he had going, and we finally, I think, came to an agreement on the Keeping It Real podcast deal. And yeah, it was pretty affordable. $59 is all he charged me.
I was like, wow, that was like a couple hours of work, and there's our logo, and I was like, dude, you knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, dude. He did a pretty good job. So back to the whole business and pushing it forward a little bit. What types of marketing are you going to try, or are you trying now? And you got the website up.
So I've got the website up right now, and it's just strictly online, selling it through the store online. We've got the whole packaging and everything's operated through the garage. So we get an order. I go outside, throw it in, print off the label, and then send it post. Trying to expand to Amazon, and then the whole front storefront would be best to, once we like allocate that property, and then kind of put that indoor 3D league in. But for now, just trying to reach out and find other little places like that Etsy place. I kind of stumbled upon that from your wife, Sam, and I was like, what the heck?
What's Etsy?
Yeah, and that's where I found this gal that like made those handcraft leather patches. So I was like, this is unreal.
Yeah, Etsy's crazy.
So there's just different little niches, like trying to find those e-commerce sites that don't overcharge too much, but they're affordable, that you're not coming out like you're losing money in the end. So it's like shipping is a big thing to look at, and then your e-commerce, like how much they charge you. So that's kind of the platforms I'm trying to reach out to, is Etsy, and then Amazon, and then anything else that I kind of stumbled upon, really. So
I think if it gets a little bit of traction and starts to get known around Flag here, you can even do like some targeted Flagstaff, Facebook ads if you wanted to. I think word of mouth is going to be huge, though. Word of mouth will spread it pretty quick, and then once the packs come out and people use them through their hunting season, they're going to tell all their buddies, and then you're going to get bombarded.
That's what I hope for. Like,
you're going to get bombarded with people be like, give me that pack.
Yeah, I just want the Meat Sherpa line to come out, and then I want it to be affordable. Like, I don't want to jack the prices up. I want it to be maintained, like high quality stuff that's going to last you 10 to 15 years, and it's going to not break your pocketbook. Like, if you look at the grand scheme of things, you got all the hunting set up, you got the scouting, you got the tags, you got the freaking family time away. Like, that's crucial. And it all compiles up, and it's like, man, yes, having solid, good hunting camo is great, but I don't want to break the bank. So I want to find like the people like me that are out there that love this stuff, but that are willing to like spend a little more on like going out scouting more. Like, you don't need all that upfront camo and everything. You need it for a short window of time.
Yeah, not very long.
It's like, why would I have $4,200 worth of camo sitting there for a certain period of time when it's like, hey man, I can take out my little pants and shirt and go out for a day hike and not worry about it, like ripping it up. It's like, oh, there goes $45. Not too bad. Like, it's okay. But yeah, I know some folks that they pull out their stuff, they wear it for hunting season, and then it goes back in, and then it doesn't come out. And it's like, well, I want stuff that's going to be utilized every day.
Yeah, use it all the time. Seasonal.
Yeah, and it's like, if you do rip it, that's all right. That quality of stuff, it's just, that's okay. We can go buy something else.
We're going to go buy some more. Everyone I talked to who bought some Sitka pants, all our fire buddies are like, I don't buy them anymore because they get torn in the brush, and then I'm wearing my fire pants.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
So many fire pants. I rocked those for many years.
Yep.
But the Sitka stuff, it's great. But man, like, yeah, they just break my pocketbook. So not hating on them at all. But yeah, it's a great product. They do amazing stuff. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm thinking about pushing that kind of product. And slowly getting it online. It's been fun. It's a good process.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like the struggle and the side hustle is just great. Like
you learn it,
it's fun.
and you take things in fast. Like you're really good with your research, and I don't know what you do at work all day long, but you know a lot of information. I mean, you get online, you read it, you figure it out, and then you just go and you put it into action. And that's the big thing. Like you're like, read, do, you know, take the information, take action. And you just keep repeating that process till you hit the ground and you hit the ground running. And you'll figure it out. I mean, there's a lot that we could talk about as far as the marketing online. But, I mean, the hunting community, the hunting community is tight. And, you know, I've come across so many people just in the last 2 years already of hunting. I showed a house to these guys last week, and he showed up in a Hoyt sweater. And I was like, a Hoyt guy, huh? And, you know, we hit it off, and we just started going. Oh, and then my buddies did a coyote tourney yesterday, shot a bobcat. And then he's like, I'll take, you know, furs and whatnot from people, and connected those two, and, you know, just another thing like that. And then it's going to roll around like this. Like, they're like, where'd you get this pack? And we're like, here, put this pack on. You know, it'll go that way for you. But it's exciting. I think it's going to go.
That's what I'm hoping for, man. It's been a good adventure so far. And yeah, this is good. Like kicking off one of these podcasts. It's the first one I've ever done. So it's like, let's keep this rolling.
I know, me too. It's 2 years in the making. Here we finally are. You know, I was like, I had this idea for a long time. I should have been doing it forever, but you know, it just goes that way. So that's kind of most of the Meat Sherpa stuff I want to talk about. I want to ask you a little bit about the house building. So we bought you some land how long ago?
2.5 years ago now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
So this has been a freaking process going. You're building.
Oh yeah. it's a lot of ups and downs with that. Oh man, that's a sensitive subject. But
yeah, so you just got plan. I know yes, Friday you got plans approved.
Building permits in hand Monday morning. So this coming Monday we'll have our building permits in hand, and that's been a journey, but it's good. Learned a lot about it, and it's costly. Like it's not cheap to build a house.
No.
So,
and you've been figuring out some cool ways to do it too.
Yeah.
But I was like, so many people are like, can I build new? Can I build, you know, can I get new builds here in town? It's like, yeah, you can. It's going to cost quite a bit. You can do it. Then they're like, well, so find me some land, and I'll go find them land wherever. And then, you know, ultimately they come back to me because they want to build and how to build it. So it's good that you're doing it. And I get I can ask questions, and I've seen the process that you've been going through so far. It's nutty.
Oh man.
If anyone wants to do it, I'm like, have you built the house before?
Yeah.
You know what you're getting yourself into? Can you handle this? You know, type stuff. I mean, you and Shannon definitely can.
Do the research for whatever city you're in. Sit down with their city engineer and their planning stuff. So they're very nitpicky. And then, yeah, it's just hard to come to an agreement with what you have in your mind as a dream home, and then what the people that you're dealing with at the city, where they're like, no, we want it this way. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to find that common ground. So, but we finally found it, and we're going to break ground again. So
that's awesome. Because the city was, you bought in a really sweet spot.
Yeah.
I like
guys
it.
Hooked it up. Like we found a great location.
I was just talking to my workout partner today about that. And he's like, where did you buy and how much? And I was like, I think we got I know that because that 10 acres got broken into 3 spots. And when we bought the last piece, and I definitely got you guys the cheapest price per acre.
Oh, it was amazing.
So we got that going good, and I think the location and the size of the house you're going to build is going to be worth, good money going into it. But it takes the knowing of where and how to build and what you're getting yourself into. My aunt and uncle wanted to build, and they wanted to build in Williams, and they're going to outbuild what it would be worth. I'm like, don't do it because you're going to be $150,000, upside down.
You're going to live in this house forever.
Yeah, you're never leaving this house.
That's one thing that we went into. It was when we sat down and talked to you guys about the land. We had our future, in my head, it was already built. So, man, this thing could have been built years ago. And I was just like, but jumping through the hoops, found out that it wasn't as easy and smooth of a process as I thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. And it's just been like an uphill battle, so hard. But it's good. We got a great family that we've been relying on, and they've been helping us out tenfold. So it's like, man, without them, the struggle would have been a lot harder. Mm-hmm. So I can just say kudos to them. I love them so much for having our back and helping us out and that stuff.
Yeah.
But finding that right spot, the right location, And then for the right price was crucial because we got some turnkey on it right off the bat. And then did a lot of research beforehand before we even purchased it. We did a lot of research like perk testing, how much the septic system was going to cost, put the water tank in, water haul, and then everything. Like, how are we going to do that? And coming up with that figure, and I was like, okay, we can definitely get that done, and it won't break the pocketbook. Like, it's still staying in that building plan of like the envelope of where we're at, and budget. That was a big thing. Budget. Because we sat down with some builders, and some of the numbers they were just throwing at me like were crazy. It's like, I'm not made of money. Like, I'm a working man. So it was interesting, and I tried my damnedest to get an owner build, and they will not budge. Like, you have to have 5 years experience, and you have to have a general contracting license. So basically, you have to be a contractor to build your own home.
Wow.
So thankfully, we found a family friend that put us in the right direction and then tied us in with another gentleman that was coming off of a build up in Page. And finally, we got in with him. And I feel so sad and bad because we had this great idea, and then all of a sudden he got sucked into the whole debacle of dealing with getting plans and then architecture design, and it just was a snowball effect. Like, it's been a crazy battle. Like, my first architect, his father came down with some terminal illness, so he had to pass it on to another gentleman. Then another gentleman that's had it. Sad and unfortunately, he was doing great. We just couldn't meet eye to eye on some things, and it wasn't cutting the mustard. And then I called your father, and I was like, hey, do you know anybody? And then he relayed a name for us, and I was like, a saving grace right there.
Third one. And
finally got it, input it, one try, one shot, building permits in hand. And I was like, oh man, it's all about finding the right person for the job. The right
people, yeah.
And all in all said, like, if I should have, like, I was trying to save money on it and like go through some people, and all in all, like, hindsight, I should just went with the high dollar experience right out the bat, and it'd have been done. But at the long run, it came out, we paid the exact same amount of money, and I got a little more gray hairs, a little stressed out about it. So I was like, oh, all right, cost savings up front, just go with the best, like, top of the line people right off the bat, and save yourself the headache. Like, it's just been a roller coaster. But finally, we're on track, and I can't wait for it, because I told the wife the other day, and she glowed. Like, she was so excited. I'm like, oh, this is glorious.
It's funny you say, call a couple people, figure out, go with someone who's quality. That's what I say. Depending on what they're going to charge you and whatnot, just get the quality to get it done. Sometimes you're going to pay top dollar. Sometimes it'll be right in there in the middle. Mobile home park world, it's like, find 3 electricians, find 3 people to do flooring, find 3 people to do this, find 3 different, handyman, do a little bit of everything type stuff, and, kind of find that middle ground in the person. You just got to have the right people to do it.
Oh yeah. And it'll save you in the long run. I'm telling you.
And the guy you found who's going to do your excavating, your septic, plumbing, what's he doing? He's doing everything all at once.
He's certified to do the house excavation. He can dig the trenches for the septic. He can do the septic install. He can set up the leach field, everything. One-stop shop, rather than bouncing around to multiple different people, paying them out of pocket, and finding this one gentleman that was certified to do all that saved us about 75 to 80 grand.
Yeah, it's insane.
And I was like, wow.
75 grand was saved. You got to find the right people.
Word of mouth, like, it was just unreal. And stumbled upon him, great guy. Mike Sweeter Excavating. If you need someone to dig for you, call Sweeter. He's the man. Good old boy. Great. Been doing it his whole life. And he's fair. Oh, man, he's fair. And he works hard.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's good. That's what part of the reason I want to do this whole podcast and start interviewing other entrepreneurs, other, like-minded people, other small business owners like myself, is to, network and put people in contact with people. I mean, I've been doing that nonstop. We were just talking about Dan Bricks, who's got the butcher shop, and I took my deer there, and it came out phenomenal. And you just took your 2 pigs there.
3 piggies.
3 piggies there. Just took 3 pigs there. And, just doing that with all those people who, you give quality service, you do good, you're going to get it back. It's going to come back to you. And just connecting these people and then interviewing them. And lot of people, like Sammy's girlfriend we interviewed, Jack does the hair and nail salon stuff, and it's been word of mouth, and she's been cranking.
See, that's great, dude.
Yeah.
That's all I'm about. Yeah, you mentioned Dano there at Bix. That guy was so humble, awesome. Like, we talked for about an hour. And the girls were in the car and the wife was in the car and we were talking and BS. And the next thing you know, like an hour and some change goes by and I look over the shoulder and the wife gave me the look and I was like, oh man, I got to go. And she goes, what were you doing? I was like, how long were we out there for? And apparently we were out there for a while.
Yeah.
And it was so good just like talking about that. And he saw my Meat Sherpas stuff and he was like, what's that? I kind of broke it down for him. And he was like, I'm all about entrepreneur stuff. So when I go pick up my pigs, we're going to sit down. I'm going to give him some stickers, and then we're going to sit down and link up the pages together so you can find him on our page and find us on his page as well. And he's got so many other friends that are connected that do this entrepreneurial stuff. So there's the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Elk Society here in Arizona, the Mule Deer Foundation, like all kinds of people that he just kind of like is in the know. And the word of mouth from him, since there's so many people going this processing, is just going to kind of like you said, word of mouth, push it out there. So it's good. Like,
you know, Lee, I buy my grass-fed beef from Lee, and, you know, he was having a little bit of problems with his processor, and I'm like, you need to call Dan. Like, he's a good dude. And then I told you when we killed your deer this year, I was like, maybe take it over to him, and you took it over to someone else, and now you took your pigs over there, and you like the dude. So, I mean, he's going to get, if he's not too busy, he's going to be really busy.
Oh, man.
Because I told a bunch of people about him already.
That's what I told him. I was like, you're going to get my business, my brother's business, and everybody else that I
everybody else that I know. Yeah.
We've got a lot of hunters out there.
Yeah, we've got a lot of hunters. Who got tagged? Who got hit?
I don't know. Yeah, this year I haven't got a feeling it wasn't going to be me. Hopefully, I'm still, my fingers are crossed for my little brother, man.
Well, I think
he's been
I put all mine
years
on my credit card, so I'm thinking it's going to be a couple days still.
Right.
And we can still get hit.
That's they say. I think it's the 14th is the last notification. The 14th.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But I could be wrong. So
yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know. Everybody's hitting me up. Your card got hit, and I'm like, no, man.
I know. It's crazy.
Like, when it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, there's always.
If it doesn't, I'm hunting deer. Yeah. Going to Colorado this year. I want to go to Colorado.
Oh man, I'm going there again this year.
Well, yeah, you got to give me like a month notice,
dude.
Tell Sammy I'm
August
out.
28th to September 23rd.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, that's the whole block. That's
holy cow!
Archery, and then you got first season rifle, and then second season rifle, and then you can do all the deer stuff as well.
Dang!
And it's fun, man.
We got the cabin to stay in.
Yeah,
you did that last week by yourself.
Yeah, it was
like real man shit.
It was fun, dude. There were so many. Like the sea of orange was out there in troves, and it was hard hunting. Like, I saw some elk, but I never got to the point where I could get a shot. Like, lo and behold, I found this little like steep, nasty canyon that nobody wanted to go into. So I dropped in there.
No shit.
And I ripped off a bugle, and I got a response, and started cutting the distance. And that smart bugger, man. I heard his cows coming, so I thought he was with them, and I was, oh, he's gonna be right behind him. Sweet, here he comes. Nope, that bugger cut up top. His cow stayed on the same path. He went up in elevation, cut across, caught my wind.
Caught your wind.
About 20 yards away from me. Crack, boom, gone. Oh. And I was just heartbroken. And his cows were probably 30 yards away from me, and all I saw was rump. I was like, please have horns. Please have horns. No. So it was so much fun. I hiked my butt off. That whole Onyx map was a godsend, and my tracks were everywhere. Like, I would drive, just get in these nasty holes and drop off and like work my way around, and it was great, glorious, and I'm going back again.
So I'm gonna give a shout out to my buddy Justin Myers. He got drawn for elk this year. Congratulations again, dude. Oh man, time limit on the phone. We're just losing stuff. He said this topo maps right here is as good as Onyx or better.
Really?
Yeah, topo maps with the little plus sign in front of it. Green with a guy walking on it. So we're going to give that. Yeah, we're going to give that a shout this year and see what we think about it. But nice. Well, we're freaking into it pretty good far, I think. What else I want to ask you about the house? Oh, so you guys. So people ask me about building all the time. First of all, you got to know what you're doing. You really got to do your research. And I ask people if they do that, which is good to know. Then they start, they understand how important it is to buy the location and to buy the land and how much they want. They want a well, they want this, that, and the other. But anyways, you guys bought and you bundled the land and the home together with the loan? How'd you guys do it? How'd you structure it? I can't remember. It's been
we bought the land outright first, and then we went and got the construction loan after.
Okay.
The banks were very hesitant to do a lump, but they would do it. But you have to have pretty bomber credit. Like, we were there. They were like, you're sign and drive, but it would make sense if you could buy the land first, and it would be so much easier and less paperwork and more fluid transition from rolling the construction loan right over to a conventional. But if you do everything lumped in, you got to roll it into one and then roll it into another. So it was a lot of moving parts. And I figured to keep it as clean and as smooth as possible to get the land first and then put that in our pocketbook, get some equity. And it did, man, like turnkey right off the bat. And then after that, go find the banks with the best rates out there. And man, you got to do some research because a lot of the banks, they're not all the same. Like, you can go across coasts, like not in your own state. We searched everywhere. And there were some banks willing to give us loans for me to build it and do the subcontracting myself without my general contracting license. And that was great. It was just the whole draw system would have been weird. Like, it would have cut a cashier's check and sent it to you overnight. And then their interest rates on the back end, the fine print, were a little bit higher than the others. So that was kind of a red flag. And I was like, no, that adds up quick. So we finally found one here in town through a local gal that we worked with last time we bought our house here in Flag. And she hooked us up with the people down in Phoenix, and we found the route bank. And now we have it going. And it's
nice.
So smooth. I deal with one person and one person only.
Nice.
And it is so easy. Like, I make a phone call. I make a phone call and say, hey, we're going to take a draw. And she goes, okay, how much? And I say, XYZ dollar amount. She can throw it in the bank account then, or she can overnight me a cashier's check. And boom, it is that smooth and simple. So I can't wait for it to start off, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, some people get what you're talking about. Some people don't. I want to break it down just a little bit easier for them to understand. So, you got the land. Then you got a construction loan to build your house, and you're just going to take a sum. Say, hey, okay, I'm going to take a draw of whatever, $30,000 to get going on XYZ foundation stuff. I don't know. And so then you can start paying your contractors, and they can start working.
Yep.
And as it comes out, then are you guys paying interest on the amount that's coming out? Or are you paying interest on the entire loan? How's it structured?
You start paying on interest of how much you first draw. So,
okay, first draw. So then second draw, then third draw.
Yep. Okay. It's set. Like, our first payment would be like right around $800 or so is where our first draw is going to come out. And then once we get our second draw, that's going to bump up a little bit and so on and so forth. And once you get that going, you'll pay off your interest for the first year. If it takes you a year to build the house, you'll pay off that interest. And then once that interest is done, paid off, you're just paying towards principal.
Nice.
So it's pretty nice. Like, you can pay over the dollar amount that you're borrowing right then and there. If your minimum payment's $800, you can pay $1,600, double it. So then you can just slowly knock that out quicker if you have the means. So
nice. That's awesome.
It's good. Like, I really like how we set it up, and it took a long time to like read through that stuff. The whole like real estate side of things, man. There's a lot of jargon and like lawyer words and verbiage, and I'm just like, this is a 90-page document. It's like,
this is crazy.
I hope this is kosher. So it's like good to call Zach and like, hey man, what do you think of this? And then it's good to have you break it down. I'm like, okay, I feel comfortable. Yeah. And I read some of the pertinent stuff, and I'm like, man, this is a lot of jargon.
And on the lending side, the same thing. Like you said, there's so many different banks out there.
It's unreal. Like, everything convolutes, and I'm like, this is just ridiculous, people. Like, I feel like I have to lawyer price it into like, are we doing good here or what?
Yeah.
But no, it's good to do your research. And once we finally felt comfortable enough and pulled the trigger, we got our loan amount. And then it's always best to, like, the first year, like, oh man, that's a high dollar amount, but you don't have to use that whole loan.
Yeah, no.
So while you're doing subs, if you find somebody that's going to do it for cheaper, or like you find a cut cost here, you can save tenfold. So you don't have to take out and pay that whole loan amount that you originally had. So that's the glorious thing about it, man. Like, I love that aspect. Like, And then if you wanted to, you can take that money and burn it all up. And if you wanted to cover, so if you had 2 car payments, you can take that and then cover your car payments, pay that off, and then you're debt free besides the house.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have one major like payment a month. And some people have done that, like, but we're just slowly crushing it and having fun with it, man.
That's good. Yeah. What do you think is going to be your time frame now to get this thing? Now you got now you got plans in hand, permits. What do you think the time frame is to get this bad boy built?
Now, since we're in like the tail end of winter, spring, I'm hoping the weather kind of just subsides. To be honest, we need it, but
hopefully
it would be great to have sunshine.
Yeah, I'm ready for some sun.
I'm hoping from 3 to 8 month window to like have it all completed. That's kind of my goal. Overall, long term, at a year at the longest. But the stuff that we're going with is pretty quick to throw up, and it's fast to get the walls up and the roof on, and then it's going to be interior like trades. So
cool.
Yeah, hopefully 8 months, but year max. I'm sticking with 8 months.
Yeah, stick with 8 months. I want to be in my house.
Oh yeah, man, dude. The wife and kids are so excited. We go out there all the time, and it's like, man, there's elk in the property, and like I've got my 3D course set up already.
Yeah.
The pond's already built. Like, yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that house is gonna be friggin' amazing.
Catfish. We're gonna have some catfish
Ooh,
in there.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait. I'm stoked. Well, pretty much wrapped everything up I want to talk about. Shoot. One more shout out to Meat Sherpas. Outdoor inspired clothing. Isn't it kind of, well, for me, it was tough to come up with like a slogan.
Oh man.
Yeah. It was tough to keeping it real. It took me forever to figure that one out. And I was like, I like it now because I do keep things real. When I'm working with my clients, there's no bullshit. I tell them straight how it is.
Transparent. Dude.
Transparency. And they love it. And sometimes they hate it, but then they come back and they love it. And they're like, hey, thanks for telling me, really how it is.
Saved me in the long run.
Yeah, saved me in the long run. And, I do. I just tell people how it is. And, but Sammy's like, keeping it real. And after a while, it started like 2-3 days, it started hitting me. I was like, yeah, this is going to work.
It's got a good ring to it.
I like this one now. But yeah, how did you come out with that? Just outdoor inspired clothing?
I just didn't want to really tailor it to like the hunting community. I wanted to make a broader audience to like outdoor activity people.
Smart thinking.
Comfortable, and then just not narrow myself into one lane of like avenue of like strictly hunters. Like I want it to be broader, so I don't like a one trick pony. Now I want it to be out there for everybody. Yeah. So,
dude, let's start competing with Yeti and Canyon.
Oh man,
start making some coolers.
I don't know the first thing about coolers.
Who cares?
They can tell you like you can get you can cut a hole in the top of the Coleman and put some spray foam insulation, and you got your ghetto Yeti, dude. Yeah. Insulation on top.
Meat Sherpa Yeti. Yeah, let's do some Meat Sherpa coolers, little backpack coolers. We'll just do the backpack coolers. We'll start there.
Oh man, see, a lot of fishing. That's probably the best one is backpack cooler for some fishing.
Yeah.
And it's glorious, dude. And they can fit your kids in there too. You can throw them in your
throw them back,
and they just stand up and
Mom, I hop in the back.
They love it, man. Yeah.
All right, dude. Well, that's gonna be it. Normally I sign off to Facebook right here, but we lost our phone, I think.
Yeah.
Time limit. Sammy's reached her time limit today on what she was supposed to be doing.
Oh no.
Yeah, man. Well, usually I have a bunch of little questions, but let's end it with what are you most grateful for today?
I'd have to say my family, dude. First and foremost, like I've been blessed to have 2 beautiful, great girls and an amazing wife that supports me, and she is like we call her Supermom.
Yeah.
And without her, there would be no me, and without all that stuff, there'd be no Meat Sherpas. So I can't say thank you enough. Be just humbled and grateful for having that strong woman in my life.
Yeah.
So that's probably the most grateful thing today and always, honestly.
Yeah, it really is. But I go through, like, I had a gratitude journal for a while, and I need to get back to doing that. But I would look through there and be like, Sammy, my family, Sammy. And I've asked the same question to the 8, 9, 10 people I've interviewed so far, and probably 7 or 8 of them have all been probably family. Just grateful. People are so grateful for their family right now, and when I asked them like kind of what their goals were, it's like to spend more like quality time and like unplugged time, even though here you are listening to a podcast, but unplugged time with the family and just like really connect with them and just focus family matters, family first.
Always, dude. Yeah, that's number one. That's why we're doing it. That's why the Meat Sherpas is live, is for them.
Yeah, dude. Love it. All right, brother. Well, thanks.
Yeah. No, thanks, man.
You
Appreciate
did
it.
good on your first podcast, buddy.
I try, dude.
We're
Just
signing
trying to
off,
keep
y'all.
up. Adios. Meat Sherpas out.
Meat Sherpas! Hey guys, I want to keep it real with you. Thank you guys for listening to this week's podcast. If you could do us a huge favor and write us a review, it really helps out the channel. Samantha and I really do appreciate it. So go ahead and write us a review. Thank you so much. If you know anyone that I should be talking to, please do send them our way. We really appreciate it. See you guys for next week's episode. Until then, keep it real.